What is going on, everybody? What is going on, the Catch fam? It is Steven here, and in today's video, we are going to be breaking down the must-start kickers for your fantasy football teams going into Week 15, baby. I got my colleague here, Fred the Snowman, because we got the holidays upon us. We got Christmas upon us. We got the snow upon us. And when we're talking about the holidays, we are talking about must-start kickers. And I've got my I Love My Mom sweatshirt on because nothing says, conceited and self-obsessed like a hoodie with your face on it. I know you guys want to see it. Let's jump into it. Let's jump into the must-start kickers. And before we really take a deep dive on each guy individually, we're going to break it down, like always, the best kickers that have been getting it done on the season so far. So Nick Folk, Gay, Joseph, Tucker, and Carlson are really leading the way right now in the top 5 spot. But when you break this down a little bit more specifically, you see over the last 2 weeks, Matt Gay, Harrison Butker, Matt Prater, Greg Zuerlein, these guys have been absolutely lighting it up for their squads, man. The first kicker that we're going to talk about, baby. Hey, he did me good in the last must-start kicker video, guys. Matt Prater, man, he got it done against the LA Rams. He seems to have the Rams numbers, that's for sure, guys. Wide receiver Demaryius Thomas, who just passed, man, Matt Prater honored him, had his number on his helmet, old teammates together, just like DeAndre Hopkins and Demaryius Thomas. So love to see all the support the league as a whole has given to Demaryius Thomas and his family. And again, rest in peace. But getting into it, guys, Matt Prater, man, last week, 15 points against the LA Rams, hit 2 from deep, those 50-plus yard bombs. Man, we'd love to see that for sure. But this is a guy who is one of the best kickers in football. That never changes on season by season, it seems like. And this guy's got one of the biggest legs in the NFL, and that's the reason for it, man. And Cliff Kingsbury loves to use his guy from deep, man. He allows his dude to hit it from any range, right? And he's going up and playing Detroit this week. I think this is a great matchup, obviously, for the offense of the Arizona Cardinals to bounce back off that disappointing loss to the Rams. I think Matt Prater is going to get it done here, have tons of extra point cleanup work that's going to give him a solid floor. But, this could easily turn into a lot of field goals as well. So I do see a 10-point range that I'm really predicting here. And I think he's got big boom upside as well. And this is an old team for Matt Prater, an old revenge game. Maybe he used to be a Detroit Lion, of course. And he's going to return to Detroit, man. He's going to be back in the dome, back in Michigan, back in the city. And I expect him to come back with a big time performance here. Up next, we got Greg Joseph, guys, going up against the Chicago Bears, one of the best kickers again this season, number 3 right now. This week, man, this is the playoffs. So we're talking about the studs, man. We are not going to be out here talking about guys that are like 25th ranked on the season, man. This is the time to get it right and get it solid for your fantasy football teams, man. No more shenanigans, right? And Greg Joseph is not about shenanigans. 12 points last week against Pittsburgh Steelers where they mopped them up, man. They had to lead that entire game. Obviously, then Pittsburgh stormed back. They put up 36 points, all on Dalvin Cook, man. He had a massive game. For anybody who owns Dalvin Cook and you had him in your lineup post the injury news that he was going to play, I'm sure you were happy about that one, man. But Greg Joseph, I think you can absolutely line him up here again. Going up against the Bears, like I said earlier, division game, 29th against the kicker position. This Vikings offense is a walking 25-plus points offensively, so Joseph is definitely going to have a ton of opportunity here. And the Chicago Bears team, man, they scored a little bit of points against that Green Bay Packers squad. That was a fun one. Lots of crazy plays happened. So I think the Bears will keep it interesting. They'll keep it tight. They'll stay involved there, too, because Matt Nagy, who knows if he even is still fighting for his job, but it does seem like every single game he is, trying to prove a resume to the owners for them to keep him around next season. But I think he's about just close the coffin on his coaching career in Chicago. Up next, we're talking about the leg, ladies and gentlemen, the Christmas story. Shout out Christmas leg, man. My gosh, Greg Zuerlein, man. He is a stud. 13 points against Washington last week in that big W they had in Washington, 27-20. That was a big one for this division, man, because Dak Prescott, he looked ugly, right? He did not look good. This offensive gross Zeke was banged up all over the place. You could tell he was limping on the field. They had to give it to Clement, the old running back, because Tony Pollard wasn't there. Well, you know who was there and was consistent for them, man? That was Greg Zuerlein, which we expected. We expected him to be consistent. We expected him to be a part of this offense, but next week, going up against the Giants, I don't see this being any different, right? I think the Giants defense is very comparable to the Washington football team defense. It's another division matchup game. Dallas still needs his W for sure. So I think we can expect another 20-plus points performance from this Dallas Cowboys offense, and it's going to lead to a lot of opportunities for Greg Zuerlein. Think he's going to have another solid performance to really carry the momentum that he's had over the last 3 to 4 weeks now. And how to become an accountant, a 6-step plan, or is it really just a how to become a Harrison Butker 6-step plan? Because they look identical, right? You see Harrison Butker, you think he's doing your finances for you. I've talked about this before, man. This guy is chiseled, man. He looks like he knows what he's doing. And that is what kickers do. They know what they're doing, guys. Harrison Butker, number 8 on the season. He is in that top 10. Not a big surprise. If you own Harrison Butker, this is a guy you might have kept all season long because you know he's tied to that Chiefs offense, which is bound to get hot. And man, have they gotten good. This team is looking like they are hitting on all cylinders, and they own the Raiders. That is a fact. Now we know this, right? They might not own Hunter Renfrow because he got it done. He had a lights out performance, right? But 48-9, this Chiefs team demolished the Raiders. And that's just backing up a 41-14 win that they had on the Vegas Raiders a few weeks earlier, right? So that is for certain. The Chiefs own the Raiders, but also Harrison Butker can get it done against this team too, and can get it done against any team, right? He had 14 points last week, and then the week before that, he had 12. Very consistent player. He's got that safe floor with those extra points. As we can see here, he had 6 against the Raiders, but he can also hit it from deep. Over the past 5 games now, he is on a streak of hitting 1 from 50 yards each game. And the only time he did not do that was against the Raiders back in week 10, actually. So I think this guy has massive boom upside because if he hits one of those, that's a game-changing type of performance for your kicker position. And you want to have guys on your team that have that unlock capability. Going up against the LA Chargers, 20th against the position, I think this spells for a huge matchup division game. Ton at stake here. I think the Chargers are really fighting for that division spot, fighting for a playoff spot, right? Because the playoff hunt is starting to get more tight, starting to get more intense. And I think the Chargers, with their guy Dustin Hopkins, are going to be fighting Harrison Butker and the Chiefs here for a win. Going to be a high-scoring battle, I think. Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes should be a fun one, right? But Harrison Butker is going to have to come up clutch, and every single point is going to matter in this game, I think. Jake Elliott, man, removed from the bye week now, going up against the Washington football team, 22 against the position. You know, we just talked about Greg Zuerlein, who got it done against the Washington football team, who definitely offers good opportunity for the kicker position. But this is a guy who's coming off bye week. And then before that, he had 15, 1, 18, and 14 the weeks before. This has been one of the more consistent kickers. He obviously had that stinker against the Giants with 1 point where that entire offense looked like a hot mess. You know, Gardner Minshew got it done for this Eagles team. Jalen Hurts will be back in the mix, right? They should have their running backs and committee a little bit healthier too for Sunday. But you know what? I expect this Eagles team to be primed, right? I expect them to be ready off the bye week. I think that they're going to give a fight to the Washington football team. You know, their defense, I obviously talked about it in the must-start defense list. I think that this Eagles unit is going to be ready for this game against Washington. And I think Jake Elliott's going to be used a ton. So I think we can expect Jake Elliott to have a good game here. Maybe he's not going to have his 18 to 20 point games, but guys, he's showing you that he has that upside, has that promise. And there's a good chance he's on your waivers because obviously coming off the bye week, not a lot of people are going to hold a kicker, especially a kicker that's outside the top 10, right? So you can definitely take a chance on him in a pinch if you do need a kicker this week. But with that said, guys, that has been the must-start kickers for your fantasy football teams going into week 15. It's going to be a fun one. Fred and I are going to be watching for sure. Please let us know in the comments what you think about all these kickers, or more importantly, let us know about the kickers that are on your respective teams or on your waivers. And don't just stop at the kickers. Let us know about your quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense situation. We'll give you some feedback and advice there as well. And while you're down there leaving those comments, we encourage you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, guys, and that is all through the love and support from the Catch fam. We truly do appreciate all of y'all. And with that said, that has been the must-start kickers. And remember, you saw it here first at the Catch, the channel that loves the kicker position.